How are you? Welcome to Comic Con. Today we're going to look at one of the greatest, most celebrated superheroes of all time, Batman. Batman debuted in Detective Comics. Detective Comics number 1 debuted in 1937. The stories revolve around a detective called Slam Bradley. Batman debuted 2 years later in Detective Comics number 27, where he battled a gangster called the Chemical King. After that, the comic revolved around him, and comic book history was made. Bruce Wayne's parents, Thomas and Martha, were killed by Joe Chill in Crime Alley after leaving the Monarch Theatre. Joe Chill eventually learned that he is indirectly responsible for creating Batman. In the 2008 show Batman the Brave and the Bold, Batman confronts Joe Chill. This is the only TV show or film where this confrontation occurs. Bruce Wayne lives in Wayne Manor. The first people to live there were Solomon and Joshua Wayne. They couldn't live there for 2 years due to a bat infestation. Wayne Manor's garden has the most sophisticated motion sensors money can buy. There's over 100 security tunnels underneath Wayne Manor, which Bruce can use to escape if his home was broken into. IGN ranked the top 100 greatest superheroes ever and ranked Batman at number 2. In case you're wondering, number 1 was Superman. Dorkly did a poll of the top 25 greatest Justice Leaguers in 2014 and ranked Batman at number 1. Batman's mainly based off 3 people. Sherlock Holmes, after all, Batman is a crime detective who helps the police solve crimes by using deduction. Zorro, who is a black mask vigilante who pretends to be a respectable aristocrat to penetrate the inner circles of society and learn of the criminal activities, and then Zorro takes down the criminals as his heroic alter ego. But the main person that inspired Batman is President Teddy Roosevelt. Roosevelt was from a wealthy family. He lost his wife and mother on the same day, which was Valentine's Day, in 2 separate incidences. He was so grief-stricken he traveled to the Middle East and became a great fighter and hunter. Roosevelt saw so much misery on his travels, he decided to convert all his rage into a practical driving force to make the world better. This is what encouraged him to become President of the United States. So, President Roosevelt led to the creation of Batman. It's probably the greatest thing he ever did. Lego Batman, the video game, is the most successful Batman game ever. In fact, it's the most successful video game based on a DC character. It's more successful than any of the Arkham games. Bruce Wayne headed to the Middle East when he was 18. When he returned to Gotham 7 years later to become a superhero, many people believe that Bruce Wayne was dead. Bruce intended to use this to his advantage since he would work anonymously if no one knew Bruce Wayne had returned. Also, it would look a bit suspicious if Batman appeared at the same time Bruce Wayne returned to Gotham. However, this plan was abandoned after he was spotted by one of his father's friends. Bruce Wayne was trained in martial arts by Henry Ducard. Ducard was played by Liam Neeson in the 2005 film Batman Begins. When he decided to become a vigilante, Batman wasn't his first idea. He was going to wear human masks similar to Mission Impossible. When Bruce first told Alfred his idea of becoming Batman, Alfred thought it was cowardly because Bruce hid behind a mask. Bruce Wayne nearly got killed on his first night out as a vigilante. When Bruce Wayne became a crime-fighting vigilante, he wore an all-black outfit. He felt like he was lacking presence, but Bruce didn't know what to do to stand out. Suddenly, a bat burst through the window and died. It was in that moment when he decided he needed to become a creature of the night to terrify those who preyed on fear. The first weapon that Batman ever used from his utility belt was glass pellets of choking gas. The place that Bruce Wayne hates more than anywhere in the world is cell 0801 of Arkham Asylum. It is the Joker's personal cell. Everybody knows that Batman drives the Batmobile, but what you may not know is that he has a Bat blimp. It's about 10 times bigger than a normal blimp. I have no idea how he built it or kept it secret. Bruce Wayne was convinced for years that his parents were killed by an assassin or a mercenary. When Bruce found the murderer, Joe Chill, he learned that Chill was just some low-life gangster. Chill didn't even know who the Waynes were when he shot them. Batman almost never asked for help. Superman joked that if Batman was too embarrassed to ask for assistance, Batman can use the code word banana muffin. Batman has actually used this code once. Batman is an expert in chemistry, engineering, forensics, and computer programming. If it took him 2 years to master each subject, he would need to spend 8 years studying, which is pretty hard when you're fighting a psychotic clown every fortnight. When Bruce Wayne is being attacked by someone while he is out of costume, he can't fight to his full potential because it'll look suspicious if the bumbling playboy billionaire suddenly battles criminals with judo, aikido, and Krav Maga. When he's in these situations, Bruce goes for strikes that look like lucky blows. He has a lie detector built into his mask. The writers thought Batman should wear gloves so he wouldn't leave fingerprints at crime scenes. Also, in his first appearance, he wore purple gloves. Vicky Vale debuted in Batman 49 in 1948. She was Bruce Wayne's love interest in the 1989 film Batman, where she's played by Kim Basinger. The supervillain, the Mad Hatter, debuted in the same issue. Bruce Wayne works at Wayne Tower. It was built by his great-great-grandfather Alan Wayne in 1888. Wayne Tower has a secret prison in Bruce's private penthouse. Batman has a list called called the McGregor Database, which details every weapons cache, bunker, and safehouse in Gotham. Batman has 17 weapon caches dotted around the city. Each of them is coded to the DNA of himself and Alfred. If anyone besides them tried to enter, a hydraulic acid failsafe will kick in, automatically melting all the weapons. He can speak Superman's language, Kryptonese. The points of his cape are weighted for use as an offensive weapon. Although Batman is seen as a very dark, intense superhero, he was very goofy for decades. That all changed after the release of the graphic novel Batman: The Dark Knight Returns, which was written by Frank Miller. It is considered to be the definitive Batman story and one of the most influential comic books ever. In this story, Bruce Wayne is in his 50s and has retired from being Batman for years. He decides to come out of retirement when Gotham becomes too corrupt. It was the first story that saw Batman as a dark, broody character that he is known as today. He wears a utility belt that has several capsules filled with smoke, an infrared flashlight, fingerprint dusting kit, miniature camera, lockpick tools, tear gas pellets, microprocessor power source, a kryptonite ring, batarangs, handcuffs, gas mask, first aid kit, anti-venom, tracker, sedatives, bait line reel, laser torch, foam, plastic explosive grenades, a rebreathing apparatus, and an ultrasonic transmitter to attract bats. The edge of the belt has rope and has a two-way radio concealed in the belt buckle. The utility belt is booby-trapped to stop criminals tampering with it. The Dark Knight Returns version of Batman has a utility belt with military pouches. This idea has been used consistently for his belt ever since. There's been a theory circulating the internet that suggests Bruce Wayne is an inmate of Arkham Asylum, and Batman is a delusion. Poison Ivy is a nurse who sedates him, Two-Face is an orderly who acts nice to Bruce in front of his co-workers, but batters him when he's alone. The Riddler is a therapist who asks questions that Bruce can't answer. Mad Hatter is a hypnotherapist. Bruce's personal doctor, Joe Carr, and his assistant, Harleen Quinzel, are determined to bring Bruce back to reality. The Batman comics have been going since the 1930s. How has this theory never been used in the comics? Bruce Wayne was framed and convicted of the murder of his girlfriend, Vesper Fairchild. Bruce was taken to Blackgate Prison, but later escaped. His partners Robin, Nightwing, and Batgirl assumed that Batman would try and figure out who the real killer was to clear his name. Astonishingly, he didn't. Batman decided that he was going to abandon his role as Bruce Wayne, believing that he could become a superior crime fighter if he was Batman full-time. Many months passed before Batman decided to find Vesper's killer and clear his name. A lot of people wonder what it would be like if Marvel creator Stan Lee wrote a Batman story. When Stan Lee heard that fans wanted him to do his own version of Batman, he agreed. In this version, Batman is an African-American called Wayne Williams. When Wayne was a young man, he was framed for killing his father. While Wayne was in prison, he became pretty nifty with a sewing machine, which he used to create a bat costume. Wayne learns that he was framed by a criminal called Hans. As Wayne tracks him down, Hans accidentally falls to his death. Wayne decides to protect the city under the guise of Batman. Superman and Batman went back in time to 1497. In this time, a demon possessed Superman and forced him to frame Batman for witchcraft and had him burned at the stake. Comics Alliance ranked the sexiest male characters in comics in 2013 and ranked Batman at number 46. Personally, I thought he'd be in the top 5. Maybe people don't find it attractive when a person is so traumatized they dress up as a winged rodent. The first recurring villain that Batman fought was Dr. Death, whose real name is Carl Helfern. He is also the first supervillain that Batman has faced since he has superpowers, he has super strength, and a healing factor. DC Comics tried to sue the Spanish football team Valencia for using a bat as their symbol because it looked too similar to the Batman logo. The team pointed out that they used the bat as their symbol 20 years before Batman was ever written. Nevertheless, the team had to change their symbol's appearance. In his first year as Batman, he met Catwoman and accidentally created the Joker. It was, in hindsight, a pretty bad year. In his second year, Bruce adopted Dick Grayson after his parents were killed at the circus. Shortly after, Dick became Batman's sidekick, Robin. That same year, Lieutenant Gordon was promoted to Commissioner Gordon. In Batman's 5th year, Barbara Gordon became Batgirl. In Batman's 7th year, Barbara retired as Batgirl. Shortly after, she was shot by the Joker and confined to a wheelchair. In Batman's 10th year, Bane defeated Bruce Wayne, forcing him to take a back seat as a Dark Knight for 1 year. One of Batman's villains is Zebra Man. When Batman went near the machine that gave Zebra Man his powers, it turned him into Zebra Batman. Batman used to have a bat flamethrower. Although this sounds a bit extreme, let us not forget that Batman incinerated someone to death in Batman Returns. Director of Clerks and Dogma, Kevin Smith, wrote a Batman comic. Nothing particularly significant happens in this story until the very end, when Batman gets so near to an explosion, he pisses himself. Or in his own words, I had a bladder spasm. Thanks, Kevin Smith, for ruining my childhood hero. Batman once became the Jungle Batman and adopted a black toga. It was as stupid as it sounds. Financial experts have concluded that it would cost at least $134 million for Batman to fight crime. The first Bat-themed vehicle to appear in the comics was the Batplane, which cost $60 million. Batman and Superman learned they were making a film about them. In the film's plot, Batman's real name is Lance. When he was young, his sister saved him from his abusive mother with a baseball bat. This inspired him to become Batman, which doesn't make any sense because how can a baseball bat inspire you to dress up as a flying bat? Batman happened to see the film and said it was ridiculous. Superman, on the other hand, found it hysterical. The Batsuit cost $300,000. When he's not wearing his cowl, it can fold into a wallet-sized unit. His costume is similarly compact. Batman has a bat sled. When Bruce Wayne needs to build intel on a person or a criminal gang, he can't do it as himself or Batman without looking suspicious. In these situations, he infiltrates crime bases as a character called Matches Malone. Malone is supposed to be a small-time arsonist, so criminals will allow him into crime-oriented establishments, but they won't consider him a major threat since he's only been involved in petty crimes. Robin eventually met the real Matches Malone. Until Robin came face-to-face with him, he assumed that Bruce Wayne had invented the Matches character. He has an antenna and a microphone built into the ears of his cowl. His cowl is made of a single-piece memory weave pattern which stretches over his head. Although Batman emphasizes that he never uses guns, he used a 6-gun in early issues. Eventually, the writers felt that it didn't seem right, so they created the Batman doesn't use guns rule. Batman's primary weapon is his batarangs. These weapons debuted in Detective Comics 31 in 1939. Batman's cape is based on a winged harness sketch that was drawn by Leonardo da Vinci. Batman was supposed to have real wings. Batman is well known for his gadgets. His lesser known gadgets are freeze bombs, smoke bombs, finger tasers, boot propellers, and Batman female villain repellent, which does exactly what it says. To climb tall buildings, he regularly uses a grappling hook called the Batclaw. Superman called Batman by his real name in front of the Joker. Awkward. There's a Nazi Batman from another universe called Leatherwing. Fun fact, Vikings used to call bats Leatherbracca, which translates into Leatherwing, which is where this name is derived from. Bruce Wayne stands 6'2" and weighs 210 pounds. Batman is known for his no-kill rule, apart from when he kills people. In one issue, Batman killed a man by throwing him into a sword. He hung a mental patient from his Batplane. He crushed a gangster in a junkyard. In 2 separate issues, he boarded up a room with the supervillain KG Beast locked inside. Batman left him with no way out and without informing anyone of KG Beast's location. This was later changed, so a line was added in about phoning the police. Batman let a bunch of thieves burn to death at a dock while he was busy making out with Black Canary. His debut comic is worth at least $175,000, but some copies have been sold for over $4 million. His first self-titled series, Batman #1, is worth at least $60 grand. There's a film called Rise of the Black Bat, which is a rip-off of Batman. To make it look like a lot of people worked on this film, the credits have fake names. All the fake names reference DC superheroes. Kent Clarkson is Clark Kent, Hal Jordan is Green Lantern, Ted Kord is Blue Beetle, and so on. Batman once turned into a tiger. I refuse to elaborate. When Bruce Wayne was a kid, he was hypnotized by his babysitter into believing he was from Krypton like Superman. Why would any babysitter do this? Batman has met Egyptian gods, a Neanderthal Batman, and a telepathic Cyclops. Okay, that's a bit weird, but what's weirder is that this all happened in the same issue. It is considered to be one of the most disjointed Batman stories in recent times. Batman was nearly the symbol for the hacker group Anonymous. Batman once threw a tennis ball at Adolf Hitler. That'll show him. In one issue, Batman and Robin turned into mummies. I don't even care why. Bruce Wayne thought the people of Gotham would discover his secret identity within 1 week. Some of Batman's batarangs are ultrasonic. When he hurls them, the batarang sets off an ultrasonic frequency which will cause any nearby bats to go wild. According to Forbes, Bruce Wayne is worth approximately $6.9 billion. Since Bruce Wayne is out every night as Batman, he usually gets up at 3 p.m. Batman has magnetized boots that allow him to walk on ceilings. He has a DNA analyzer built into one of his gloves. He has a Godzilla-sized bat suit that he uses against colossal monsters. He fought a villain called Floronic Man. He was a plant-like maniac made of marijuana. He takes little pride in what he does as a superhero. The only thing he's truly proud of is how Robin turned out. He has fought the Mask, the title character from the Jim Carrey comedy. Batman and Robin used to have roller skates built into their outfits. Batman turned into a King Kong-sized ape in one issue. If Batman needs to be alerted of a crime, the bat signal is activated. It debuted in Detective Comics number 60 in 1942. Once, Batman infiltrated a group of Native Americans by painting his face red. racism. His favorite meal is mulligatawny soup. For radioactive areas, he wears a hazmat suit. It is called the Hazbat. He has faced a villain called Mirror Man, who can see through anything, including a superhero's identity. To maintain his secret identity, Batman wore a mask made of mirrors when facing him. It looked so stupid. On several occasions, Batman has obtained Superman's powers. The ears on Batman's cowl are detachable. He can shoot them off his mask as projectile weapons. Bruce Wayne is one of the owners of the Daily Planet where Clark Kent works. This means that Batman pays for Superman's salary. Batman has a steam-powered motorcycle in case the electronics were taken out in Gotham. He has a drone called the Robat. The front cover of Batman number 39, which was published in 2015, is a blatant parody of the front cover of the very first Superman story, Action Comics number 1, which was published in 1938. Batman once vibrated so fast that he flew around like a frisbee and cut through statues. Reminder, Batman doesn't have superpowers. On the day Batman dies, the villains of Gotham said they will shine the bat signal upside down. DC Comics nearly cancelled Batman in 1964. Batman has teamed up with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This comic was so successful, they made it into an animated movie in 2019. And for the 100th fact, there is a place in Turkey called Batman. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe. If there's anyone else you want me to do a video about, let me know and I'll upload it as soon as possible. If you want more comic facts, I've written 15 books about comics, about superheroes, supervillains, comic book characters, comic books in general, and superhero movies. They're all available on Amazon, on paperback, and Kindle. If there's any elements I missed, Arkham Asylum, the Batmobile, the Batcave, the Arkham games, the Batman movies, let me know and I'll upload a video about that in the future.